There is something powerful about waiting. Waiting is not a waste of time when you know what you're waiting for. Waiting is not weakness when you understand what has been promised. There are moments in life when everything seems still, stagnant, and silent, and you start to wonder if the promise will ever come to pass. But I want to declare to you today with authority and boldness that your waiting was not in vain. Your patience has purpose. Your delays were not denials. The stillness was not the end. It was preparation. Every seed ever planted must go through a period of waiting before it breaks through the soil. And the most critical part of that seed's journey is what happens in the dark, unseen by human eyes, covered beneath the earth, where it wrestles with pressure, where it endures isolation, and where it begins the process of becoming. And just because no one sees the breakthrough doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you haven't seen the fruit yet doesn't mean the seed has failed. Some of the greatest promises take time because what God is building in you cannot be rushed. And though you may have wept through the night, though you may have prayed until your words ran dry, though your hopes seemed to fade with each passing year, I came to tell you the promise still stands. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. God did not abandon his word concerning you. He was working even when you saw nothing. He was aligning the right people, opening the right doors, shifting things behind the curtain. The heavens were not silent. They were strategic. God is not bound by your timeline. He is not stressed by your schedule. He operates in a realm called appointed time. And when the appointed time comes, nothing can stop his promise from being fulfilled. Not the economy, not your age, not your past, not your current situation. The waiting was working something in you. It was forging strength, building endurance, shaping character, and increasing your capacity. See, there are things God cannot give you too soon, not because he doesn't want to, but because you would not have been able to carry them. He had to prepare you for what he prepared for you. That's why the blessing was delayed. That's why the door didn't open. Not because you weren't worthy, but because he was still forming the foundation to hold the future. You don't build skyscrapers on sand. You dig deep before you rise high. And you, my friend, have been dug deep. You've been in the valley, in the shadows, in the quiet places of brokenness. And that digging was not to bury you. It was to plant you. People may have walked away. Opportunities may have passed you by. You may have missed seasons. But don't let the enemy lie to you and say it's too late. Don't let disappointment poison your hope. What God has promised you is still alive. It's still possible. You are not too far gone. The promise is not dead. It's just maturing. The vision is still speaking. It may tarry, but wait for it. It will not lie. It will surely come. Every champion had a waiting season. Every giant slayer had a wilderness. Every world changer had a period of hiding before their revealing. David was anointed king and went back to tend sheep. Joseph had a dream of rulership and ended up in a pit. Abraham received a promise of descendants, yet faced barrenness for years. But God is not a man that he should lie. His word does not return void. His promise does not expire. And if he said it, he will do it. You may not understand how, you may not understand when, but you must believe that it will happen. Faith is not rooted in clarity, it's rooted in confidence. And confidence comes from knowing the one who promised. Don't put your faith in what you see. Don't put your trust in feelings or facts. Anchor your hope in the character of God. He is faithful, he is true, he is consistent, he is sovereign, and when he moves with purpose. The wait wasn't punishment, it was positioning. It wasn't wasted, it was preparation. Because when the time comes, it will happen suddenly. What you prayed for will appear. What you believed for will manifest. What you dreamed about will become reality. And it will seem like it happened overnight, but it did not. It happened through years of surrender, seasons of silence, and moments of testing. You didn't just receive it, you were refined for it. And no one can take that away from you. Do not despise your season of waiting. Don't curse it. Don't complain about it. Don't compare it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Grow in it. Waiting is one of the most powerful tools in the hand of God. It filters motives. It reveals your heart. It tests your trust. It purifies your vision. Some of you wouldn't be who you are today if God gave you what you wanted when you asked for it. You would have self-destructed. You would have misused it. You would have mishandled the blessing. But because he loved you, he said, not yet. And those two words saved your life. The world tells you faster is better, but in the kingdom, timing is everything. God is not looking for speed. He's looking for sustainability. And what he gives in a way that will last. You may have cried. You may have doubted. You may have wanted to give up, but something in you held on. Something in you said, I can't quit now. That was the promise keeping you. That was destiny pulling you forward. That was God whispering, I'm not finished yet. You didn't survive all that pain for nothing. You didn't endure all those nights of wrestling for nothing. You didn't come this far to be disappointed. God brought you through fire to refine you, not to destroy you. He allowed the storm not to drown you, but to cleanse you. He let you feel the hunger so you would value the feast. And now your eyes shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Yes, there were moments you felt forgotten. Yes, there were days you questioned if he still cared, but now you understand he never left. He was present in every tear. He was near in every heartbreak. He was active in every delay. And now the shift is here. Now the tables are turning. Now the clouds are breaking. Now the favor is flowing. Because God never forgets a promise. He watches over his word to perform it. And if he gave you a word, then you better believe heaven has been working overtime to bring it to pass. Don't apologize for believing again. Don't shrink back because of past disappointment. Don't let history dictate your hope. This is a new season. This is a new hour. What didn't work before is about to work. What failed in the past is about to flourish. You are stepping into fulfillment. You are stepping into answers. Hold your head high. Walk with confidence. Speak with authority. Live with expectation, because your waiting was not in vain. Your prayers were not in vain. Your tears were not in vain. Your hope was not in vain. You were being prepared for a moment that only heaven could orchestrate. And when it happens, it will exceed your expectations. It will silence your critics. It will humble your enemies. It will restore your joy. It will make sense of every confusing chapter. You are not who you used to be. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more focused. You are more surrendered. You are more like him. And that is the greatest reward of the wait. You didn't just get the promise. You became the person who could carry it. And now with open hands and an open heart, you are ready. So rejoice, celebrate, anticipate, for your promise is not just coming, it is already in motion. Every delay has served you. Every detour has developed you. Every disappointment has deepened you. And now all of heaven is declaring, it's time. You have waited well. You have endured faithfully, and now your reward is sure. Let the world see what God can do through a life that refused to give up. Let your story be a testimony that waiting is not weakness, it's wisdom. And let every blessing remind you that God never forgets his word. He finishes what he starts. He completes what he begins. He honors those who trust him, even when it hurts. Your waiting was not in vain. God's promise will be fulfilled. And when it is, you'll look back and say it was worth it all. The reason the enemy fought you so hard during your waiting season is because he saw what was coming before you did. He caught a glimpse of your breakthrough before you ever believed it. He noticed the weight of your calling before you felt the weight of his glory. And so he tried everything: delay, discouragement, distraction, disappointment, to wear you out, to steal your hope, to silence your faith. But you're still here. You may be bruised, but you're breathing. You may be tired, but you're standing. You may have lost some battles, but you never lost your destiny. You see, the promise of God is not fragile. It is not intimidated by time. It does not diminish with age. It's not seasonal like man's favor. It is eternal. It is rooted in a realm where time bends to the will of the Creator. And while you were counting days, God was calculating development. While you were tracking the calendar, God was tuning your character, because he was never after just giving you a blessing. He was after making you a vessel, not just a recipient of the promise, but a steward of the promise. That's why he waited until your pride broke. That's why he allowed the silence to stretch. That's why he didn't rush to respond, because the promise had to meet the right version of you. What good is a palace to a man who still thinks like a prisoner? What good is abundance to someone with a poverty mindset? What good is favor to someone who still lives for validation? God waited until you could handle what he wanted to hand you, because a blessing that comes too early can become a burden. An opportunity that arrives too soon can become an obstacle. But you're no longer who you used to be. The fire refined you. The delay matured you. The storm taught you how to walk on water. The silence taught you how to hear his whisper. And now you don't just want the promise. You want the promiser. You don't just chase the result, you pursue the relationship. That is the evidence of your growth. That is the fruit of your waiting. It was never just about the destination. It was always about the transformation. And now you know how to wait with worship. Now you know how to trust without trembling. Now you know how to walk by faith even when your eyes see nothing. That is the kind of person who can carry a fulfilled promise without it carrying them. Because if you receive a throne without humility, you'll use it for pride. But if you carry a crown that was forged in surrender, you'll wear it with reverence. There is a moment coming, and for some of you it's already here, where things will begin to make sense, where the tears will become testimonies, where the struggle will become strategy, where the why will turn into wow. Because hindsight is always clear, and when God brings you into the fulfillment, you'll look back and bless him for every closed door, every detour, every delay. You'll thank him for the no's that saved you. You'll praise him for the waiting that protected you. You'll worship him not just for what he gave, but for what he kept back. There are doors that didn't open because they weren't aligned with your assignment. There were relationships that ended because they couldn't go where you were going. There were jobs that fell through because they would have drained your purpose. You thought you were being rejected, but you were actually being redirected. You thought you were being forgotten, but you were being fortified. And now, because you endured, you will step into what eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and hearts have not imagined. Don't compare your journey to others. Some people are walking in their promise now, but that doesn't mean yours is less valid. Some people received their yes earlier, but that doesn't mean your yes isn't coming. Everyone's timing is unique because everyone's calling is unique. What God is doing in your life is tailor-made. No one can take it, no one can rush it, no one can replicate it, and when it comes, it will fit perfectly because it was made for you. The promise didn't forget you. The vision didn't die. The dream didn't dissolve. It was incubating. It was growing in the invisible. And now it's ready to be born. But here's what you must understand. When a promise is fulfilled, the responsibility increases. Blessings come with burdens. Favor attracts fights. Elevation invites scrutiny. But don't let that intimidate you. You were built for this. You were equipped for this. You've been prepared in secret for what will now be revealed in public. The world may think you came out of nowhere, but you didn't. You came out of warfare. You came out of midnight prayers. You came out of hidden faithfulness. You came out of long nights where you worshiped with no answers. And now, when you step into the light, when the platform is given, when the opportunity knocks, you won't have to pretend. You'll speak with authenticity. You'll serve with humility. You'll walk with confidence, not because of who you are, but because of what you've been through. The waiting gave you roots. The waiting gave you depth. The waiting gave you wisdom. That's why when the winds come, and they will, you won't be shaken. You won't crumble under pressure. You won't fall into pride because you remember what it cost. You remember the pain behind the promise. And you will carry it with reverence. This is the kind of vessel God can trust. This is the kind of person he releases purpose to. So I urge you, doubt in the dark what God spoke in the light. Don't let your emotions dictate your expectation. Don't let temporary circumstances cancel eternal truths. If God said it, it will come to pass. Your only responsibility is to stay in position. Keep your heart pure. Keep your hands open. Keep your spirit yielded. And let God do what only He can do. You may not see it today, but something is shifting. You may not feel it, but something is moving. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities are being prepared that you didn't apply for. People are being stirred to bless you without even knowing why. Heaven is orchestrating divine connections, open doors, sudden reversals. You're about to walk into moments that will make you weep in gratitude. Not because you earned them, but because He is faithful. And when it happens, don't forget the process. Don't forget the pit. Don't forget the wilderness. Don't forget the nights you almost gave up. Let your blessing become a platform to speak of His goodness. Let your breakthrough become someone else's blueprint. Let your life become proof that waiting on God is never a waste. You are the testimony. You are the evidence. You are the fulfillment of prayers spoken years ago. You are the answer someone else has been waiting for. And everything you went through, every heartbreak, every delay, every loss was shaping you into the person who could carry this moment with grace. So let joy return to your heart. Let hope rise again. Let peace flood your soul. Your season of waiting is coming to an end. You are about to see what you only imagined. You are about to hold what you only hoped for. You are about to experience the manifestation of every tear, every prayer, every word. And you will say with full assurance, the Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Your waiting was not in vain. God's promise will be fulfilled. And when it is, it won't just bless you, it will bless generations.
Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is not the battles you face, but the silence you endure. It's not the giants you fight, but the stillness of heaven when you cry out and hear no answer. It's not the storms you weather, but the questions that rise in your soul when you feel like nothing is changing. You keep showing up, you keep praying, you keep sowing, you keep believing, and yet nothing around you seems to reflect what you know God said. That's when the enemy starts whispering. That's when doubt creeps in. That's when discouragement lays its heavy hand on your shoulders. But it is in that very moment, right there in the silence, in the delay, in the not yet, that you must remember. God does not speak to fill time. He speaks to fulfill destiny. If He said it, He meant it. His word is not casual conversation. It is covenant. It is law in the spiritual realm. And just because your eyes haven't seen, it doesn't mean His hand isn't working. Your season of silence was never a season of absence. God was there watching, weaving, working. He was building in you a faith that doesn't break under pressure, a hope that isn't fragile, and a trust that doesn't depend on feelings. And even now, even in this moment, He's closer than you know. He's aligning things, preparing things. And in a moment, just one divine moment, everything can change. See, promises are not fulfilled in a vacuum. God fulfills promises in His divine order, and order often requires process. The bigger the promise, the deeper the preparation. If He's taking longer, it's not because He forgot, it's because He's being thorough. You don't want a rushed promise. You don't want something delivered to you unfinished, underdeveloped, unshaped, because that would frustrate you more than bless you. You want what's ready, you want what's right, you want what's been molded by the hand of the Master Himself. And I know waiting doesn't feel spiritual. It feels like standing still while the world runs past you. It feels like being stuck while others succeed. But don't be fooled by speed. Movement is not always progress. Sometimes God parks you in obscurity so He can pour into you in secret. He hides you not to punish you, but to protect you. It slows you down, not to stop you, but to strengthen you. Because when the time comes, you won't just move, you'll soar. There is an appointed time. There is a divine moment already marked on heaven's calendar that has your name written on it. And when that moment comes, no demon in hell can block it. No man can stop it. And no circumstance can hinder it. God will lift you in plain sight. He will establish what He promised in front of those who doubted you. He will confirm His word through undeniable fruit. Those who once asked, Where is your God? Will soon say, surely the Lord is with you, but don't wait passively. Don't wait with bitterness or weariness or resentment. Wait with worship. Wait with expectation. Wait with joy, because the wait is part of the promise. The wait is sacred. It's in the waiting that you learn who God really is. It's in the waiting that you discover the difference between loving him for what he does and loving him for who he is. When you've been through that kind of process, you emerge with a different kind of faith, a faith that doesn't need applause, doesn't need proof, and doesn't need validation. A faith that stands alone, rests in his voice, and trusts in his timing. The enemy wants you to quit because he knows what's on the other side. He wants you to walk away because he fears what you're about to walk into. He doesn't attack what isn't a threat. The fact that he's pressed you so hard is evidence that you're closer than you think. Every delay has been a disguise for development. Every hardship has been a classroom. Every opposition has been training. And now you are emerging, not just with hope, but with authority. This is why some people can't recognize you anymore. You're not the same person they remember. You're wiser now. You've got discernment now. You move differently now. You don't react like you used to. You don't panic like you used to. You've got a depth that wasn't there before. That's what waiting does. It refines. It resets. It resurrects parts of you that you didn't even know were dying. God never wastes pain. He never wastes process. He never wastes time. He is the God who redeems everything. And when he fulfills the promise, he also restores what was lost in the waiting. Well, every tear, every year, every missed opportunity, he redeems it all. That's why when he blesses you, it won't be barely enough. It will be pressed down, shaken together, running over. Because he's not just a fulfiller, he's an overcomer. He doesn't just answer prayer, he multiplies miracles. When the promise comes, you won't have to force it. It will come to you. You won't have to manipulate, scheme, or stress. God's promises are not earned by striving. They are inherited by faith. The door will open on its own. The call will come. The favor will find you. Breakthrough will knock. You just stay faithful. You just keep showing up. You just keep your heart pure and your motives clean. Because the right promise in the wrong season is still the wrong thing. You don't want what's good. You want what's God. And he knows the difference. He knows what you can't see. He knows what you're really ready for. And he will never give you something that will pull you away from him. That's how much he loves you. He would rather hold it back than watch it destroy you. But now you've been tested. Now you've been tried. Now you've been tried. Now you're ready. Let me speak this clearly. Some of you are about to step into promises that you didn't even ask for. God is about to answer prayers you never prayed out loud. You're going to see his favor in places you didn't know existed. Why? Because he saw you in secret. He saw your surrender. He saw your faithfulness when no one was clapping. He saw your generosity when no one was watching. He saw your obedience when it cost you everything. And he is not unjust. He remembers. So don't let weariness talk you out of your miracle. Don't let impatience steal your inheritance. Steal your inheritance. Don't let frustration make you forfeit the very thing you've been praying for. Stay grounded. Stay rooted, stay connected. The blessing is not just coming, it's already begun. What you sense in your spirit is real. What you feel stirring is not your imagination. It's confirmation. Shift is happening. The atmosphere is changing. The tide is turning and you will not have to chase it. It will come to you. And when it does, walk in it boldly. Possess the land without apology. Take hold of the promise without shame. You waited for this. You cried for this. You cried for this. You believe for this, and it's yours. The same God who started this journey with you is the same God who will finish it. He doesn't quit halfway. He doesn't abandon projects. He completes what he begins. And you, child of God, are not forgotten, forsaken, or failed. You are chosen, cherished, and called. You are right on schedule. Your life is not behind. Your promise is not lost. You are exactly where you need to be. And what is meant for you is still on its way. So get ready. Clear the space. Stretch your faith. Make room for the new. Because when God fulfills a promise, he does it in a way that leaves no room for doubt. He does it in a way that no one can take credit for. He does it in a way that gives him all the glory. And you, my friend, are about to testify. You are about to see with your eyes what your heart has carried for years. And when you do, when the door opens, when the healing comes, when the breakthrough happens, remember this moment. Remember the waiting. Remember the process. Remember how far he's brought you. And never stop giving him praise. Never stop lifting his name. because he kept his word. He did exactly what he said, and he always will. Your waiting was not in vain. God's promise will be fulfilled. So now, as you stand on the edge of fulfillment, with the echo of every prayer still lingering in the atmosphere and the fragrance of every tear still rising before the throne, lift your head high. This is not the end of a season. It is the birth of a new dimension. You have not been forgotten. You have been prepared. You have not been delayed. You have been developed. Now the same God who carried you through the valley is about to seat you at the table he prepared while your enemies watched. The journey has not been easy, but it has been worth it. Every quiet night, every battle of faith, every moment of choosing trust over fear, it all mattered. You were being qualified in the dark for what you're about to carry in the light. And when the doors swing open and the promises start unfolding one by one, you won't just walk in with excitement. You'll walk in with understanding. You'll walk in with understanding. You'll know that it wasn't your strength, your talent, or your strategy that brought you here. It was grace. It was mercy. It was His word, alive and unfailing. So take a deep breath. Step forward. Embrace what's been waiting for you. This is not the time to shrink back. It's the time to rise. Walk in the room like you belong there, because heaven has already confirmed your arrival. And as you live out the manifestation of everything God promised, let your life be the loudest sermon you ever preach. Let it scream to the world that waiting on God is never wasted. That His timing is always perfect, that His word never fails. Your waiting was not in vain. The promise keeper has arrived. And everything He said, every single word is coming to pass. Now go forth, not just blessed, but appointed. Not just favored, but fulfilled. Because this is your time.